most dangerous time for them, spend the weekend. But you know that, and that's why we're here.
Yeah, I lost track. Who was the, I didn't see, who we're talking to here, I don't know who the people.
Todd's mom, raise your hand.
Oh, hi. That was your candy and shoes?
That was my candy.
It wasn't the candy, but it was the shoes.
Because the hospital, not the hospital, but the last treatment center he was in, lost his shoes.
Right,
They lost those,
But-
and that's why I sent
that's okay, but anyway,
Wait, no, don't let that go.
I want to interrupt, I'm not interrupting you, but promise that you're gonna have somebody sit next to you, lunch and dinner tomorrow, because your son is here?
I don't think so. I'm not
But-
sure.
Wait a second, is your son here?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? All right, I don't know, maybe I should, I don't know what I'm
No,
talking about then. Okay.
it's okay, because, yeah, I'm glad we're having that discussion, because yesterday he did call me and was like, well, Mom, they're gonna make me sleep outside because I haven't found a job. Can you come get me? And I was like, of course not. Of course. I mean, if you're not there, I'm still coming. Okay? But you have something that you have to do. And his friends had already been contacting me. I had no idea that he may have been calling them. I emailed the therapist almost a week ago when I started hearing these messages. So, yeah, I know what goes on and I know what happens. So, but I cannot speak for every parent. I can only speak for me.
You sent the message to a tot that he was hoping to hear. Anybody know what it is?
I know a lot of us, we can make every excuse that we want to why we're doing something, but all we're reinforcing is that I will come save you, I will come rescue you, I will come do whatever it is that you want me to do.
And how did she do that?
By making an excuse to give him the shoes that he allegedly needed and taking,
Wait, one at a time. Everybody wants to hear these things. Wait, finish the sentence.
and taking his phone call and saying, I'm still gonna be here.
Why was taking his phone call a tactical error?
Because hearing him and him hearing her created emotions that would make her want to save him and bring him home.
Exactly, and that was the message. That was the message, because a tot knows full well that you were all told, until level 3, if you ever hear their voice, you're supposed to hang up the phone. And he was testing you. Does she hang up the phone? Shit, I don't have a chance. No, you had a conversation. He's saying, oh, son of a gun, I can convince her to take me home. She didn't do what Wellington Retreat tells her to do. She's on my side. That was the message you sent him.
Oh, different than Dennis's? Okay. I had a phone call too, but I guess Dennis was with him.
It was with his counselor.
No, let me give you further evidence that a tot's going to be in her suitcase. Did I know that a tot called her yesterday? No, why not? What? She didn't call me. She didn't tell us. She maintained a negative contract. It's our little secret sort of thing. Even though that might not be her intention, she's revealing what's happening in her unconscious mind. He's got you completely. Now, he did sleep outside last night. They have expectations that they have to meet in order to maintain the apartment. And it's all written in their lease that they sign. They know all of this in advance. We don't impose any type of punishment. We give them an opportunity to make a choice. You follow these rules, follow these expectations, you get to sleep in the bed that night. It's done on a daily basis. They understand that, and they are fully willing to engage in that type of relationship. That's what treatment is. He was reminded, if you're not applying for jobs, filling out it's a diary, we call it a job sheet. where you went to apply, whom you spoke to, what the contact information is, what the status is, until you get a job. Hand that sheet in every day. That's your ticket to your bed that night. You know in advance. You don't do this, you don't have a bed. You know, in Italy, you go to the cash register first, you pay for the espresso, then you take the ticket over to the bar. No ticket, no espresso. No ticket, no bed. Gives them an opportunity to learn that they're in total control of what happens to them. They get to choose what happens to them, in fact. If I choose this, then this happens. If I choose this, then this happens. We cannot protect them from that. They'll never learn. The illness, remember, impaired that process. Do we want to maintain the impairment? Oh, okay. You didn't hand in your job sheet. Oh, come on in. Tomorrow we'll try anew. That makes the illness worse. It creates a sense of omnipotence. Oh, I can get away with this. It was his choice. He slept outside. He didn't come to treatment this morning. He was gone. We knew why. Mom's in town. The only hope is that you have no individual contact with him tomorrow or Sunday. You'll be in community. He might be there. I doubt it. But even if he is, you should have no contact without the community, and then you eat lunch with some healthy families, and he not be allowed to have lunch with you. And you participate in the rest of Saturday. You have dinner with some healthy families, and he not be allowed. And then Sunday, you're with us, and then you leave. No contact with him. It's a possibility if you follow that up with, when he calls, he doesn't hear your voice at all. Does not hear your voice. So that you're not positively reinforcing anything.
The number came in as an unavailable, and I get a lot of calls. This was during the day, so it didn't come in as like a 561 or anything. So when I'm getting calls, I'm picking up. But
what's the alternative way of dealing with that?
of dealing with what?
The problem of not knowing if it says something like unavailable, not knowing if it's coming from Palm Beach County.
Is that I'll pick the phone up. I get other business calls and stuff that.
What could you do though?
Voicemail. Just let it go voicemail. It's important. I'll leave your name. I'll leave a message.
Letting every call for the immediate future, right? Every call go to voicemail so you have total control over whether he hears your voice or not.
I mean, yeah, I can do that.
Well, I mean, you're gonna, when somebody you know calls, their name comes on caller ID, right?
She thinks you're
Not every other person.
Yeah, I know.
Those are others. I've been
The only other choice is to answer the phone and not say anything. So if you just hit.
Nope.
Okay, I'm just giving.
Well, if you can exercise good impulse control, I couldn't. I would just naturally be reflexive. Hello?
No, but I just, I don't.
But if you could do that,
If you just say, okay, you answer the phone, but don't say anything. Now, if it's somebody that wants to track you down to buy a car, hi, is this the car company? You gotta know who it is. But, so I gotta imagine a large percentage of your calls come to your phone or somebody you know. So you're only talking a small percentage. So you either don't answer it or don't say anything.
Yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
for this weekend, I mean, because now I know, number one, I heard his voice, I know he is okay. and I know he is having temper tantrums. I recognize that. I know he is healthy. And I told him that from what I also have heard other people say is that if you're not here, I'm not going to see you, but I'm coming anyway. So I did not anticipate seeing him, but I'm still here. So that's my commitment to understanding. And you don't know me, and so you only know me through his eyes, and now you know me from talking to him. So I'm still here, and I will take the recommendation. It would be nice to hear when this was going to be decided, that the therapist would call me or email me and say, hey, I just want to give you a heads up. Your son has put in a 24-hour notice, and he may not be here. That helps me understand something.
We usually do that. He didn't submit.
Okay. That's what he told me.
He was intending to. Changed his mind. But how many of you have gotten calls from our staff when your loved one submitted a notice? Yeah. We need to prepare you because we want you to have the facts rather than the lies that they're going to give you, right? It's in our best interest in terms of helping your loved one to make sure that you are on the same page as we are. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just want to point it out, maybe a little bit easier for another parent that's sharing with you. I know the wanting to hear that voice, and as you say, know that they're okay. But as of right now, your son's not okay. Unfortunately, that conversation with you set him back, and now he's not going. He didn't go to group today. He didn't show up. So while it placated you, made you feel better hearing his voice, he's actually not okay now. He was better before you heard from him and talked to him. You know, and I think that's the hardest part for us, knowing that the non-communication is the best thing.
No, you should have heard me when they called me.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, because it was so abnormal since he's been out for 3 weeks. So it really was a shock. And I didn't know what the heck was going on. So, yeah, I did carry on the conversation with him.
Can I just say, how long has your son been here? I don't know if that was stated. How long has he been here?
He was
Total.
admitted March 9th.
Since March?
Yeah.
April, so, but, so we see a lot of this. We see a lot of all crazy stuff happens a few days before family weekend. It's routine. So, it's not routine, but it's a routine occurrence, but it's rare, but it happens. So that means that, you have to follow the directions, don't ignore it, because anything else is a kind of bad consequence.
Yeah, and that first family weekend sets the tone for your relationship with the program. Because we had that too, our daughter asked us for a $1 bill. I mean, she was swearing us, and remember her swearing in one, but she asked for $1 for Coke. I thought it was fine. I was going to give it to her until one of the counters said, you don't want to give her anything. And she did get back on the bus, but I think that first family weekend is the most important one for us to establish that new relationship we have to have.
That's the other thing I wanted to say, having been in a similar position, is please don't feel like you're being judged, because that is exactly what I feel like we've all done. And not knowing, I've learned so much from this program in the subtle things that, no offense, but in the beginning I was like, what the hell? But I get it now, and one of the reasons I get it is because you have such an extreme way of dealing with it. So we all benefit from this. I just want you to know, because there are things that you would have no idea would have that negative impact, but now you get it after understanding this program. So I'm saying don't beat up on yourself.
I'm not beating up on myself at all. But during one of the first calls that I got from Monica, we had a group conversation, and he had a suitcase that was still with the other treatment center. And he had been in the hospital for a month, and it still never got to him. In that conversation, he finally got his bag, but he said, I'm still missing my shower shoes, my house shoes. In that conversation, I said, okay, I will send you those to replace them. Monica never said in that conversation, don't send them. She also never followed up and said, we don't send new items. I had said then what my intention was. Those were your shoes that I sent you with. You have nothing else. I will order you some because there's no other way to getting you them. So then I hear after I deliver them, I have them delivered, oh, we can't give new items. And I'm like, but these are items that somebody else lost. And then I see you standing up here, you know, in judgment of what I've done. And yes, that's my son. I am not trying to break rules, but if you tell us up front, it helps. Kind of after the fact, it's like, it's offensive.
It is judgment, but not moral judgment. It's clinical judgment. You made an unhealthy choice, and I need to have such an impact on you that you will not make that unhealthy choice again, because your son's life is at stake, and that's how seriously we take these things. Now, it's additionally complicated, as you know, by the fact that he doesn't only suffer from addiction. If he doesn't return tonight, he's not getting medicine. What's that going to look like tomorrow or the next day? He's going to end up in the hospital, psychotic and manic again. I can't just make a point to the families of our patients in this program. I have to drive it home. I have to be overly dramatic. I tried to do it the other way. You don't take it seriously enough. You don't remember it. Doesn't have the same impact on you. And I take a lot of risk. I risk you hating me. A lot of the families who've known me for a long time thought I was awful in the beginning. Some even hated me. And then you start to see the results in your family members, especially patients who've been to multiple treatment programs and never made any progress. I know, I have to take a risk. But I think that by the end of the weekend, as long as you stick with us, you'll have a different feeling about me.
I have the utmost respect for you. I wish your group would communicate a bit more with parents on a regular basis, especially when, there might be something happening.
I want you to, go ahead, Mike. One of the things that we hope that you learn over the course of the 3 days, and we come back to it in much more detail on Sunday, is how we're never neglectful. When we're not satisfying your immediate need, we have a design in mind. We don't share with you at the time. We share with you after family weekend, because we know it's a waste of our time to even try to get you to understand until you've come to family weekend. When you come to family weekend, you finally get it. You'll probably look back and say, oh, now I understand why they didn't tell me this and this, why Monica didn't tell me this, why she didn't call me back. There's a method to absolutely everything we do here. We talk about it for hours at a time. Not one of the staff members knows. I'm sorry. I was going to say two different ways at the same time. All of the staff members know that nobody makes any clinical decision without me. Yes, I'm a dictator. Absolutely. I dictate the clinical treatment. I'm the addiction psychiatrist. I better know more than the person without that degree. You count on me to know more. But I value their opinions, their perspectives, their input. I don't make unilateral decisions. It's always following discussion, multiple discussions. Most commonly with the entire community. You'll see that tomorrow in community, but we sit every day. We start at 8:30 in the morning, and we end when I feel that we've covered all of the issues that we have to cover for that day. It might go until 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. One day we went till 4. Non-stop. Addressing every issue. Joe's mother called last night. She's demanding a family call. All right, community, what do you think about that? She's demanding a family call. That'll be a 2-hour discussion. Before we determine what the most helpful response is going to be and how it's going to be made. Today, I said, Mick, is your father coming to family weekend? I said, no, I don't want my father involved. I'm thinking, how did this get by me? Rachel, what happened? How come, haven't you talked with Mick's father? Yes, I've tried. He's very stubborn. He says he doesn't want to be involved. He's poured enough money into these treatment centers. He's been through it so many times. He's not going to benefit from coming here. I said, oh yeah? I took out my phone. I said, Mick, what's his number? Oh no, I'm not telling you his number. I don't want you to call him. I said, what's his number? No, I don't want him involved. You're not calling. I said, you give me that number or you walk out that door right now. Thinking to myself, I hope he doesn't walk. 954 called. Had an entire community meeting. We had him on the phone for, it was about 40 minutes. Giving his perspective, and then patient after patient after patient. Identifying with his perspective and helping him to recognize his flawed thinking. One patient you'll meet tomorrow. Shane, see, Mr. So-and-so, I'm a father too. I understand exactly what you're going through. I've been through it with my own son, but I also suffer from addiction, so I know what your son's going through, and giving him different perspectives. By the end, although he was apologetic that he didn't recognize the significance of attending this family weekend, he now heard us in action, and he took it seriously. He said, wow, you run a tight ship, he says to me. He said, I will definitely be at the next one, but can I come in? Is there something else I can do to make up for not being able to be there this weekend? I said, of course, because he's in Fort Lauderdale, but he's leaving to go across the state for the next 5 days. I said, even though you're not going to be in town, you promised me you're going to be on the call on Tuesday night and Wednesday night, and then when you return, you're coming into community meeting. Yep, okay, I'll be there. All of the patients learn about the rationale for every intervention because we spend hours literally talking about, well, if we do this, then this is likely to happen. If we do this, this is likely to happen. And each patient gives their own perspective of things that have happened similarly to them and their families. And they learn about family dynamics. You'll experience that tomorrow. But, and certainly, we know that in the beginning, families often think that we're being harsh, we're being neglectful, we're making wrong, bad, unhealthy decisions, we're being judgmental. But I think it's very rare that people think that way about us or the entire treatment team after they've attended family weekend. Then you understand the rationale for everything.
You will never get another presentation in any other program, like anywhere that you got today. We're not watching the clock, we're way past where we run way over, which you often do, because you're trying to make points here that are really important for all of us, and reminders for those of us who are here again and relapse of what our role is. It's a very crucial role, and we have to learn to love those kids that are sick in a whole different way than we ever do all our other kids, and our relationship has completely changed with them, and they don't believe we're going to.
Right.
Because they've known us for so long.
Right, right. They begin to hear the change in you, the growth in you, the education in you. You know, some patients in the past have dubbed it, drinking the Wellington Retreat Kool-Aid. Right? Oh, you sound just like Wellington Retreat. Then we know you've gotten healthy. Right? I want to get us wrapped up, but there are a couple other things I'm forgetting now. On Sunday, when we're meeting together again and reviewing the weekend and helping you to understand very specific interventions, we get the help from our patients who are in the program at level 4 in transitional. So they're about to step out, end the program, and they're healthy. And they get to share with you what their experiences were from admission going forward, and to help you to understand how these various interventions that they've experienced, they've been the recipient of, help them. And their understanding of how they help them and help their families, and how their success was directly related to how healthy their families were able to become regarding their illness. You learn directly from them. We have a new facility now. We've been working on it for a couple of years. We took over a hotel, 4-story hotel. And we've converted it so that now we're providing all levels of care there. But the patients in transitional obviously live in their own apartments off-site, and now the patients in PHP live in different apartments in that complex with 24-hour supervision. We are anticipating receiving our licenses for detox and residential, and those patients will be staying on the 4th floor in the building. Our adolescent unit is on the 3rd floor, and those patients sleep there and receive treatment there. So you'll see, for those of you who come over to tour it, and I hope you all do, on the 1st floor it's administration. We have our own laboratory. We are planning to install our own pharmacy. On the 2nd floor is where a lot of the clinical treatment occurs. On the 1st floor there are group rooms for IOP and the group room therapist offices, the IOP therapist offices. On the 2nd floor, the PHP group rooms, our community room where we meet every morning, and the PHP therapist offices. So you can come over and take a look. Yeah, I guess that's it. I think I've covered everything. Tomorrow morning, we meet here in this room at 8:30, sharp. Now, please put an effort into being here on time, because we create a structured environment, and part of that is called containment. All of the major psychiatric syndromes are impairing the prefrontal cortex, which means that it's not able to inhibit the impulses as well. The individual with poor impulse control, on a deeper level, is distressed by that. It creates anxiety. I can't control my impulses. I don't know what's going to happen. It's a constant state of elevated anxiety. When someone else applies control over those impulses, it decreases the patient's anxiety. That's what the effect of the contained environment will do. Just by being on time. that environment is structured. And the more sick patients experience a decrease in their anxiety. You'll see. Okay. Yes? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry. No. The adolescence program is a little different. I hope Stacy didn't change the schedule, but we have our community meeting in the afternoon. So instead, you're meeting for presentations in the morning. And what time does it start? 10 o'clock. Arlene starts at 10. Right. 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 Okay. Oh, sorry. Yes. Do you all have transportation?
No. I took a cab here from the airport.
Anyone else need transportation? Okay. Are you, for those of you familiar,
Is this like an actual tour, or can you
Yeah.
drop in? Is it a drop-in situation?
yeah, I'm going over. Yeah,
So it's a group,
You gotta show off.
drop in and.
right. No, we have,
I got room for one more person.
I'll do it.
does everybody know where it is?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the address is in there. Right. It's very short. It's less than 10 minutes. Yeah.